INTRO, democracy is alive and well in the rural, heavily Republican enclave of Adams Township, Michigan. Despite a strong climate of election denialism led by the outgoing Township Clerk, Stephanie Scott, and her ally on the Board of Supervisors, Mark Nichols, residents of Adams Township recently voted overwhelmingly to recall both of them, replacing them with Susie Roberts, a retired auto industry worker, and Randy Johnson, who works in the local school district. I'm here to tell you exactly how this fight against election denialism and extremism unfolded and how the residents of Adams Township are restoring their trust in the electoral process. ACTI. Adams Township is an unlikely battleground in Trump allies' effort to find proof of voter fraud in the 2020 presidential election. However, Michigan's Secretary of State stripped the local clerk, Stephanie Scott, of her election administration duties after she refused to turn over voting equipment for regular maintenance. When part of the voting machine went missing, state police initiated an investigation, and when Scott was accused of providing confidential voter data to a third party, yet another investigation was launched. Despite Scott's claims of innocence, Adams Township was thrust into the national spotlight. ACT2, national figures associated with the campaign to overturn the 2020 election results descended upon Adams Township. This included Patrick Byrne, former CEO of Overstock and a key figure in Trump's push to challenge the election. Scott retained conspiracy theorist and lawyer Stephanie Lampert, who was eventually sanctioned by a federal judge in a lawsuit attempting to overturn the election results in Michigan. Conspiracy theories and political upheaval quickly tore apart the community of Adams Township. ACT3. Fortunately, residents of Adams Township banded together to finally oust Stephanie Scott and Mark Nichols, replacing them with Susie Roberts and Randy Johnson. Johnson said that he expects Monday's first board meeting to be a circus. However, he is hopeful that the nonsense will go away now that Scott and Nichols are gone and they can begin to rebuild trust in the electoral process. Conclusion: Adams Township is a prime example of what can happen when a community comes together to fight against election denialism and extremism. The successful recall of Stephanie Scott and Mark Nichols is a sign of hope for other small towns and rural enclaves that have been placed in similar situations. By standing up for their democratic ideals, the people of Adams Township are restoring trust in their electoral process.